everybody. I know it's been a long time, y'all. It's been a long time. Hey there. Let me let folks know. I'm live. Hey. How are y'all? How are y'all? I have been so busy, y'all. I'm going to show y'all some of the stuff I've been working on too. But I have been super busy. Hey. Good morning. So one of my students said yesterday, I can't take credit for calling it that, but she was like, the grand solar spreads are like playing 4-dimensional chess. And I was like, wow. I was like, that's just so powerful because, that is really true. The grand solar spreads are, in fact, like playing 4-dimensional chess. So, and it's the most slept on thing in regards to cardology, in regards to anything actually. And I am going to be doing a class on it next Saturday. Next Sunday. I think it's March 2nd. And I'm also going to be giving away Validator shares to attendees. So if you saw me kind of post it, I've been talking about Guap Coin Validator shares, which is a way of you getting the ability to earn Guap Coin every day. And I am selling the shares again at $99, and it comes with 1,000 coin bonus. So now, if you order today, like if you sign up for that class today, you now get a validator share and you get 1,000 coins with it as well. So I'm pushing that because, as always, I'm raising money. We're getting ready to. We're working on launching a gold-backed stable coin on Guap, which is going to be called Guap Gold. And the only way you will be able to purchase it is through Guap. So it's going to be paired through Guap. So you want to get gold, you can buy gold with Guap. So we're pushing for, we got a pre-launch coming up, and our official launch is going to be April of Guap Gold. So we're doing big things. And big things require big moves and big money and all this other stuff. So I'm getting all my ducks in a row to prepare for this. So I haven't been so much on YouTube and not so much on Instagram as I normally am. So one of the things I talked about today, I wanted to go over too, because this is a really deep thing. This is a deep thing. Let me pull it up. And I posted it on Threads too. But let me go ahead and post. I got to talk about this, y'all. For real, for real. Got to talk about this. Like, for real. So here it is. And I'm going to talk about this. Let me share my screen real quick. And so I posted this today. Where I said the 4 diamonds. I was talking about the 4 diamonds, which is my Pluto card this year. And if you don't know that every year you get new cards and you get to play the superpower of those cards as well, so sometimes people don't pay attention to a card because they don't know that that's their card, or they don't know they have it in their spread. Then they are in fact not playing four-dimensional chess, because four-dimensional chess is not just the linear ways you can learn how to read the grand solar spreads, but it's the bilinear, it's the reverse, it's the yearly spread, it's the 7-year spread, it's the 13-year spread. Like, it's true strategy. So when I'm telling you something and by the law of attraction you see it, then in some way, form, or fashion, you got that card and it applies to you. So there are cards that have the number 2 of a card in Mercury. Like my card has a 2 of diamonds in Mercury, right? Diamonds deal with values, money, resources, etc. Right? So, and all of the 2s all of the Mercury cards are communication, the mind, speaking, all different types of communicative methods, right? And that Mercury card is really important because it talks about the way that you even communicate with spirit is in that Mercury card, right? Within that Mercury card, you have the Neptune card, and that's going to be how you communicate. What is your method of communicating with spirit? Me, I have a 2 of diamonds in Mercury, which has an 8 of spades in Neptune, which is spirit. So I communicate rough, like demanding. My communication style with spirit is demanding. My whole essence with spirit is like just a different force. It's like forceful, it's powerful. You know what I mean? So when somebody wants something from spirit, or they're having this conversation, they're like, you get other people who like pray, like, oh, spirit, thank you. Thank you for doing this for me. I'm so grateful. Can I please have? That's not me. When I communicate with spirit, I'm like, look, this is what I need. You got me on this job. I'm doing this work. I need this. We need to make this happen, right? But I have to be that way because my God card is the King of Diamonds, and I'm God to the Jack of Diamonds, right? So in order for me to be able to make powerful deals with people, I need to always be in my power when it comes to communication. If I want to say thank you, I will say thank you, but it doesn't even feel natural to me to be like, oh, I'm begging you. Can you make my condition better? Can you give me some money? That doesn't feel natural to me. So why lie? You know what I mean? Why be something that I'm not? So your Mercury card can talk about your communication method, and how you communicate. So this particular communication method that I brought up is the 4 diamonds, because they are very susceptible to what we clinically call on this side certain mental illnesses, right? Now, mind you, they are masters. They can be doctors. They can pull medical information on the mastery of any doctor. They can be on par with any doctor. So if you come in contact with somebody who is a healer or a doctor, calling themselves a doctor, whatever, and they happen to be a 4 of diamonds, they are absolutely correct. That is what they are. So they deserve that respect and recognition. Now, who are they communicating with? Well, they have a King of Spades in Neptune The two of spades has a king of spades and Neptune. So when you have a two of spades, you have somebody who has the ability to tap in to higher sources, specific sources, scientific sources, um, doctor, medical sources. They have the ability to have those conversations and have access to that, right? But on the other side, the king of spades also represents things like animals. So these people can talk to animals, right? My grandmother was a two of spades, and she used to talk to her plants. You could talk to plants too. They could communicate with plants. So also the king of spades oftentimes represents things like AI, represents things like extraterrestrials, what you want to call extraterrestrials, EBEs, or just other beings, are fall under the category of king of spades because they are more advanced than we are, right? So anything that is more advanced than you are will fall under the category of king of spades. And so that's it. So you're talking about someone who has the privileged constant access of communications with these types of things, right? Or beings, people, entities, multidimensional, this dimensional, wherever. And because they have it, it could go anywhere along the spectrum. So what I say spectrum is, one part of the spectrum could be you talk to doctors or important people. Other side of the spectrum could be that there's all these types of entities you're engaging conversation with, whether intentional or non-intentional or whatever. So I go to the point of schizophrenia. So that's how it could be seen on in Western side as schizophrenia, because this person has all of these erratic conversations. It appears to be erratic conversations, but they are conversing with people on different dimensions. They at one time they're talking to all types of different entities in different dimensions. So, of course, on this side, that's what we're looking at as like this person is quote unquote mentally ill. So, it's considered in the Western world to be a mental illness. Of course, it's going to be considered to be an illness in the world where they don't have explanations for it. And it seems to bring about erratic results on this side, looking as though it is indicative of it needing some kind of medicine or cure, right? But if they were in the right place with the right people, then it would be viewed differently, because these people would know how to handle those situations. And not to say that the communications that they're getting with are all quote unquote good, or who they're communicating with or communicating for their own benefit. It could be any type of entity. They could randomly get into a conversation with a malefic entity. They could do that as well, right? So what I had posted is there's also another layer to this. It's like, okay, so I'm a four of diamonds, I'm susceptible to this, but why do I not have that? Why is my communication expression not the same as this person who has a severe case of um, schizophrenia, right? Well, the person who has a severe case of the difference between you as a card is, number one, that your planetary energy is different, your sign, right? And another thing is because when your sign is different, it calls on what we call, some people call the PRC or planetary ruler. So it calls on a ruling energy when your sign is different. So for instance, if I'm an Aries, it's calling stronger on Mars than it is on anything else. If I'm a Libra, it's calling stronger on Venus than it is with anything else. So that, number one, is a separation, a bit of a separation between the two. But what's most important is we don't have the same name, and your name also carries an energy. So this is why I said in initiations, you're always given a new name. So this new name is going to help you in some form of fashion, because it's going to bring along a whole new set of tools, and it's going to reconfigure all of your energy with the addition of this new name, right? And the more people call you and call on that name, the realer it becomes. The realer it becomes. Because now you have people who have recognized this. They recognize you as this name and they call forth this energy, and the other energy goes more to the back. So this is like the dynamic reprogramming we do to each other through vocals, through communication, through name calling, and all of this other stuff, spells, spell casting, whatever. So this is going to change things. So I put up there as a potential resolution of working with an individual who may have constant conversations with malefic individuals is to call them by a new name or call them by their middle name. You can experiment with it, call them by your nickname, and this is something that the mothers have been doing for a very long time. You'll notice mothers will call you by various different names. They'll call you by nicknames. They'll call babies by different names. You got, stink stink or da 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 da. And these are new names. These are different names. Mira, that's my daughter. We gotta call him. Some people call him Mima. All of these different things is something that we do in the women's traditions for eternity. So got into that. So it's good if you have a 2 in your Mercury, and to discover that and pull the power out of that, because that's a very powerful card. The way the tools work is not only is it through dynamic communication, like you're constantly in a conversation with something. Oftentimes the conversation could be with yourself. So I have a lot of conversations with myself because I have a 2 in Mercury. I see myself outside of myself, which is also a gift and a skill of having a 2 in Mercury. You can see yourself on the other side. So I oftentimes am paying a lot of attention to myself. I'm looking at myself. Like right now, even when I'm doing this, I'm looking at me versus looking at the people here or anything else. I keep my eye contact on myself. That is because I have a 2 of diamonds in Mercury, right? So I'm always observing where I am from a resource perspective. Where are you now? Where are you from a financial perspective? Where are you from a money perspective? Where do you want to be? Be very hyper aware of your condition, and thus being a diamond, having the power to manifest and can change that condition from there. So, yeah, we get an interesting energy today because 3 of diamonds is the master of the 2s. Do you not know? 3 of diamonds is the master of the 2s, and can be locked by different things, whether it's trauma, alcohol, drugs. Alcohol is a surefire way to open a portal for the twin to come in and to take over the life of the single. So when that twin comes in, like in the case of Diddy, you have a lot of activities, actions that don't make sense. You know what I mean? And sabotage. And, these are the kind of real indicators and clues of the presence of the twin, is because the life becomes sabotage, the love becomes sabotage, things become sabotage. They in a way that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So this twin is trying to create their life in your life on this side. And typically, like, the only way out of that is some sort of spiritual help and assistance and stuff like that is the only way out of, putting that twin back on the other side. And the formula for them is in their life spread. I mean, they have a Jack of Hearts in Saturn for life, right? So essentially, somebody got to go. Somebody has to be sacrificed. My twin, my evil twin, has to be sacrificed, or I will have to give up some things that will prevent that twin from coming in and sabotaging my life. And it is like a unaliving. It is like a murder, so to speak, or unaliving of that side. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? So had to go into that little part because that hit me real hard. It hits me home. I know people who are four of diamonds, and I know them suffering from the two of spades aspect of their life. And I know people who are benefiting from the two of spades aspect of their life. So it's not all just because I say that there's a certain aspect doesn't mean that it has to manifest in you in that way. Doesn't have to manifest on the negative side. It could come through you or as a total different energy as somebody else. Now, who's at greater risk with this two of spades aspect with the four of diamonds? The Scorpio four of diamonds, because they themselves are already dealing with the king of spades as one of their altars. So in Pluto. So now you got the Neptune King of Spades and you got the Pluto King of Spades, like a Neptune Pluto conjunction, which is absolutely going to bring you a crisis of mental health on a what we call mental health on a mental phase. And it could be a catalyst. The crisis could be a crisis or a catalyst. It could be a blow to the head. It could be some serious issues in relationships or traumatic losses, traumatic abuse. Those type of things would create that situation potentially in the four of diamonds. So, there it is. But at any rate, it is your benefit to pick up the grand solar spreads and learn the grand solar spreads. Learn the grand solar spreads. Keep yourself aligned with your purpose, especially while we're in a period of testing, because that's where we are this year. We're in a period of testing. You know what I mean? And even I have been tested. And I'm stubborn with spirit. So spirit could tell me that everything is going to be okay. I'm still going to be stubborn about it if it doesn't seem okay to me. So this is a period of testing, right? And as much as I know about testing is that typically things turn out to work for the better in the end. That's how testing is. But it doesn't mean that you gotta like it or love it. It just means that it's just another tool. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what we have to stop doing. We have to stop falling in love with things and people. Hold on, y'all. We got to stop falling in love with people and things. And if you are of the nine of diamonds type, which is like people of color or the common people, or even if you're not a black or brown person, but you're a white person that hangs around a lot of people of color, then you're likely nine of diamonds energy. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting this emergency call. Disruption. So anyway, hey, how y'all doing? It is there's a different type of spiritual energy and presence this year that I even feel is like so different. Um, and it wants to speak. Like it literally wants to speak. It wants to teach. It wants to take over. So a lot of y'all may find yourselves doing more channeling at this time or being a channeler. You're going to hear the word channeler. Just go with it because that's literally what you are at this point. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be channeling for other beings are going to be speaking through you now because they're making their entry into our reality, you know, and you are the mouthpiece. You like are the one being used to portray different, thoughts outside of our sphere and teaching more. So that's coming into balance. And then also we have North Node in Pisces now, South Node Virgo. And that North Node Pisces has to do with the dissolution of the critical mind, the critical stuff. Those are the things that have been holding you back. The doubt, the criticism, the messy mind, all of that. And what does is comes in and brings that Neptune layer, like that whole smoothing over of the criticism, the hypercritical mind, you know. So you'll even find people who are typically more critical becoming more receptive of things and not having to think through things 10 and 20 times because nothing at this time is going to make that kind of sense. There's going to be a lot that doesn't make sense because it's not a part of your everyday reality yet. So these are the times when this type of energy activates a whole new set of things. And I think this is going to be very good for us because I happen to think we are very hypercritical, super hypercritical, and that's what keeps us back. So if you are a Black and brown person, what has held us back is and the hypercriticalness does not come from a lack of intelligence. Actually, it comes from a tremendous amount of intelligence, but it impacts the how to apply that intelligence. The type of intelligence you have is supposed to be only applied to things of a scientific nature. So whether it's investigation, whether it's what do you call it? It's discovery, it's medicine, it's programming. These are things that you apply the hypercritical mind to. You have to learn how to be like a three of hearts, like how to separate the hypercritical mind and apply it to where it needs to go and apply the intuitive mind where it needs to go. You know what I mean? Because the hypercritical mind should be applied in these places to where as you're going to produce something. But what people have been doing is they've been applying the hypercritical mind to places where nothing is produced, everything is just destroyed. Nothing is produced with their hypercritical mind. They are hypercritical about this and they're hypercritical about that, and they have nothing to show for it but poverty because they're not producing anything of solid value out of their hypercritical mind and self. This part right here is being put to sleep right now. I'm not going to say destroyed because it'll be a time when it comes back into power again and it gets illuminated again. But right now, it is being lowered down, it's being put to sleep, you know? And this is a time when people come together in relationships, right? So you'll see more relationships during this time because the hypercritical mind is being put to sleep. And that hypercritical mind is what's standing in the way of you potentially connecting with soulmates, soul families, or whatever, because you are being too critical. you're having to decipher, you're having to know too much, you're attached to the outcomes of things, and it's preventing you from being with the people that you're really supposed to be with at this time. So you're going to be having a lot more relationships, a lot more better relationships. And you can bring along these lessons that have been taught during the time of hypercritical minds, like from people who have really produced things. So, like the people who have produced things, whether they're writing, whether they're putting it on a website, but it is well documented, whether it's in a video or something, but it's documented, people in this stage can refer back to those things, but they're never going to refer back to the banter that has not been solidified as something useful and constructive, and rather than destructive. This is a time when those destructive minds are going to fade away too, at least for the time being. So it's a good time. Your president is employing these techniques. He is employing the techniques of Pisces rather, and bringing the, what do you call it, the spell, the Neptune, right? While behind the scenes, the destruction is taking place, right? That's what's taking place. It's not, it's just destruction. It's just blah, 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 blah. But it's like, don't look at that. Listen to this. So the secret during this time is that you have to align yourself with Piscean energy yourself. So you may see a lot of people change. You may see me change. You may see, whatever, like the nature of who we are going to be at this time is we get to sing a song, we get to tell it, we get to speak a spell now, because we've already lived through the time where data is not enough, like the hypercritical mind and presenting you with data and information is not working. We can give you all the information that we can give you on something and you still go left. You'll still destroy and not produce. You still won't come up. So that's why this side gets to come in and do the job of helping to elevate you to the position that you truly want to be in collectively. So it's a lot. So it's really a good time. Very, very, very much a good time. And I think that we've suffered enough trauma from the hypercritical side. We suffered enough trauma that we actually may remember some of the lessons that we've learned during that time. So it's time to open up. It is time to, and in all actuality, it is time to be more diverse, because your soul family, your your soul mate, or whatever you want to call it, may be somebody or something of another kind. So, hey everybody, I come back. I'm back. Oh, when I come back, like I feel myself back. I'm like, just feel so good. But so yeah, so let's talk about this four-dimensional chess, the grand solar spreads. It's so funny because I spend more time reading the grand solar spreads backwards than I do forwards now. And why? Why would I want to do such a thing? Let me pull up the grand solar spreads. This is the spread that I'm on. I'm 50. What I found with these reverse spreads, hold on one second, y'all. What I find with the reverse spreads is the crazy thing about the reverse spreads and looking into the reverse spreads is the energy. Okay, so the energy of the forward spreads of what you're looking at now, this is my yearly spread. It's a little bit of stress. This is what you got to get. This is what you're chasing. The reverse spreads are the things that are chasing you. So which one do you like better? Like, which one sounds better to you? Does it sound better to you to chase something, or does it sound better for something to chase you? And we can even call it attract, because when you're attracting something in the law of attraction, like you want to attract something, what are you doing? You want something to chase you. You want something to come to you. You don't want to have to chase it. Right. So the reversals deal with the energies that are chasing you. So I have stopped really looking at the direct spreads, and I have been focusing on the reversals because I want to know what's chasing me. I want to know what's attracted to me, not what do I have to make attracted to me. I want to know what's attracted to me, what wants me, what desires me, what is throwing money at me, what. That's your reversals. So I'm just giving you a little bit of what this 4-dimensional chess class is going to be about next week, March 2nd. But like I said, the early bird that's going out today, if you sign up by tomorrow, you will get a free Guap validator. So you got something chasing you. Everybody that signs up has money chasing them. I'm telling y'all that right now. Money's chasing you. Whether it is a new kind of money, it is different. Nevertheless, it's chasing you. So if you sign up by tomorrow, you get a validator share and you get 1,000 coins, right? So you're essentially, because that's what I'm selling, the validator shares, you're essentially getting that for free with this class. And you get to learn about how to play real 4-dimensional chess. What is chasing you? What wants you? What desires you? What do you not have to worry about? Because that's going to happen if you stop chasing that. If you stop chasing that, focusing so much on this, that's going to happen. It's going to chase you and it's going to push you forward through that spread. Through your forward spread, it's going to push you right through that. So like, for instance, if you look at this spread and you see the 5 of spades here, right? This 5 of spades, I am Venus too. I'm its Venus, right? It's my reverse Venus, but I'm its Venus. I'm what it wants, right? So the 5 of spades, and then also you got to also look at what position that it is, because this is going to tell the total story about what it's giving you, what it's willing to give you. It's like the exchange. It wants me. What are you willing to give me? What are you here to give me? So the 5 of spades is sitting in the place of the 6 of diamonds, which is Jupiter and Mercury, right? So we know off the bat, it's here to give me some type of education. You know what I mean? Like, it's here to give me some education. It's here to educate me. It's here to give me expansion, quick, fast expansion is what it wants to give me. 5 of spades consists of doing things like traveling, sudden traveling, getting up, running. My son comes in with his headset and immediately connects to my computer. We ain't been able to fix that issue. Let me see if I can turn off my blue. No, I don't want to turn off my Bluetooth. Okay, but it reconnected for a hot second. So what I said, I was talking about the five of spades. So this is the card that's chasing me. You know what I mean? Earthquakes are chasing me. They want me. There's an earthquake. There's somewhere that wants to shake me up and sit me down and talk to me and tell me these things. So when this energy pops up, what do? I listen. I go, even though I don't want to go. A lot of times with the five of spades, it represents energy that you got to go to, but you don't want to go. You're like, no, because the five of spades has a nine of spades in Mercury, which is the card for no. So not Mercury, sorry, Mars. Mars is action. So this usually represents action that you don't want to take, but you will be forced to take. You're forced to take a particular action that is associated with the five of spades that you don't want to take, and you're ready to say no. So I've had quite a few events that I did not want to partake in, like I didn't want to go. And they wanted me to be there so bad that it provided me, whether it was the transportation, it sent a car for me, it sent people for me, it did all of these things, but I still got to do the five of spades thing myself to meet it halfway. Right? And because it also represents walking, this would be a good time for me to start walking. Mind you, I've been thinking about it and I'm like, I haven't been doing it. But the result of walking is going to expand my philosophy, which is going to make me make greater choices. It's going to expand my communication. It's going to open up communication with important people. So this is how the spell of four-dimensional chess happens with the grand solar spread. You go do the action that is being required. So the action of the five of spades is walking. So if I want to bring some expansion and some communication, a call, maybe fast money, that's also fast, big money out of as a result of business endeavors. If I want that to happen, what do I need to do, guys and ladies and gents? I need to go for a walk. I need to go for a walk. So that's what I'm likely going to do. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to take a brisk walk in a way that it has to be a walk that I don't want to take. And it's cold outside. I damn sure don't want to go outside and walk. But I need to walk. So when I hop off of this call, I'm going to go put some clothes on and I'm going to walk my neighborhood. The number of times that will be forceful to me, just like I can't do it no more. Because that is the no too, is an exhaustive measure. I'm going to take an exhaustive measure walk around my neighborhood so that I can manifest Jupiter, Mercury. So there it is. There it is. So sometimes I see people sit around, it's like, I don't know what to do. The blueprint is there. The blueprint is there. And what I'm going to provide in my class is I'm expanding the keywords of each and every card so that you have more to figure out. And I'm going to show you in the class, how do I figure out what I need to do to capture or to be captured by the thing that is chasing me, which is good stuff. Money might be chasing you. I have the six of diamonds directly behind me, my reverse Mercury, right? Which deals with good. That's like a state of everything being at imbalance, like financial balance is what that is, right? Financial balance is sitting in the spot of Jupiter, Venus, and it displaces the four of spades, right? So what the four of spades is, I call that the kept woman. It's allowing yourself to be poured into. Allow yourself to be poured into. You know what I mean? And that could be a hard thing for people. You know, a lot of us feel like we can't get something for nothing. We're very transactional. The four of spades is not, this is Jupiter, Venus. This is not transactional. This is as a result of your blessings. It could also be as a result of educational institution as well, because it's Jupiter. It could be teaching and mentoring and stuff like that. It could also be that. You know what I mean? So you want to examine these things and you want to figure out, what's my game plan? What am I going to do? How am I going to make myself available to what is really looking for me versus going to look for things or being forced to look for things without using the resources that will help me get those things? Because those things behind you are going to be the things that help you to get the things that are ahead of you. So the link to my class is in the description. I would sign up if I were you. I would definitely sign up if I were you. So I hope you got a little bit of a taste of this and a little bit of a taste of the four of diamonds. That might be helpful to some people who may be dealing with people who are dealing with some form of schizophrenia, etc. A simple solution would be to start calling them by a different name. So at any rate, y'all, it was good talking to y'all. Y'all know I'm about to go for that walk. Yes, ma'am, sirs. I'm getting ready to go for that walk. I'm going for the five of spades. I'm going for the Venus today. And to guess what, y'all? Today, the five of spades is in Jupiter. So now we're talking about extra Jupiter energy for doing five of spades things. Okay? So if you need to loosen up some blessings, you might want to go for that hard walk. As I say, it's more than just a walk. It's a hard walk. It's a walk that you got to go for, a walk that normally, if somebody comes to you and says, do you want to come walk with me to here? And you're like, no, that's the walk you got to go for. Okay. That's like almost the equivalent of me walking to the gas station. I don't think I'm going to do that, y'all, but that would be I would get a good blessing today if I walked to the gas station. So I don't know. Maybe I should think about it. Maybe I should go to the gas station, throw my hat on, throw my coat on, throw my sneaks on, and take that walk to the gas station. Now, mind you, it could be a drive too, but remember, it has to be a drive that you're resistant to, right? So that means you got to drive far. Like if somebody came to you and you lived in Georgia and they said, could you take me to South Carolina? That's like almost like a no versus up the street. So it has to be something that gives you a no in your gut. You know, you got to feel it. Like if somebody came and asked you to do that, you'd be like, no. And at this point, if somebody asked me to walk around the neighborhood about 3 times, I'd be like, no. So I got to do it. So at any rate, I love Kismet. At any rate, so peace, y'all. I will try to be back and definitely sign up for the class and start playing 4-dimensional chess up in here. All righty. Peace.